How you doing there?
Hey, good.
So what we've got going on here is like this is all kinds of action. There's this thing called session, which is how when you're on a website, you have like a shopping cart, or like, there's sometimes the website is custom just to you. All of that is basically facilitated through session. Session is actually implemented as a cookie. When we talk about cookies and like storing information about you, that's kind of what it's storing. It's storing like a pointer back to you. And you can either store that information in your browser, in the cookie itself, or you can store it in the database. But in this case, we have just a little bit of information. We just have this user ID as a single number, so we'll just store it in the cookie itself. We'll use session for that. So that's just how you decide if you're logged in or out. That's kind of what we're trying to accomplish in this little thing here. So now what we're going to do is, the first thing here that we're going to try to accomplish is we're just going to do a little bit of refactor renaming. So friends controller, we're actually going to, so let's see here. This lists out all of the people in the system actually. Or maybe users. Alright, so let's rename this to be users. Alright, and then this controller is going to be, instead of friends, it's going to be users. Alright, so that's going to be, and then for each of these users, we're going to have a button to add as friend. Alright. So we're going to have this special add as friends user path. So we have to go embed that. So back in the routes file, we're eventually going to have friends, so I'm not going to bother deleting it. But it's actually not really around right now. We're going to have users here. And then there's have to be this new path called add as friends. And with the resources keyword, we get a lot of free paths, but add as friend is not one of them. So we have to specially define it. And the way that we do that is we use the special member do block.
So what is this telling string?
Point to it with your mouse.
The friends do, member do, post. Like, what is this?
So this is saying that as part of the friends resources, so all the special routes that we get from that. Oh, actually, all this is the wrong place. That's all supposed to be here. So in addition to all the regular resources stuff, which gives you, let's see if it explains it in this thing here. Gives you special control actions automatically, like list, create, new, edit, update. We're also going to have an extra one called add as friend, and that method is only going to be on members, so on an individual user. So this is the add as friend method for a particular user. So we can find that user by just saying params of ID. That's going to be the user we actually want to add as a friend. So what we're going to do here is we'll say, let's go back to the root path. So here we're going to say added the user as the friend. And in between here, we actually need to do the logic of adding them as a friend. So that's not really implemented yet. But what I like to do is I like to kind of like at least get it all working and then like keep it working. So like here, we're going to pass through here without actually doing anything. And here we'll just puts out, we'll say, essentially the same notice. Added so-and-so as a friend. So this works correctly. In the log for this application, we should see that. Oh, I think I lost your form one. All right, get me back. All right. Okay, so I'll just pick up kind of. So I was kind of working on our thing here, but it's basically the same idea. So this is going to go to, instead of being friends, we're going to call this users. And we're going to have a link to, instead of just having the username in here, we're going to say button to. All right, cool. Hey, Arv.
Hi.
So, okay. So then we got the, so we're going to do this put statement here. So this is going to let us see. No. All right, how's that? All right, cool. So yeah, so we said we're gonna like just print this little statement out. So that's gonna be good. Huh. All right. So I don't want to select. Okay. All right, cool. So let's see if we can get this to actually happen. So there's no friends. That's okay. It's called users now. Huh. Like the shift key is held down. I can't get the non-shift version. Green arrow. Whoa. 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 Alright, Arv. I feel like my driving is all messed up here. Local host. Same all I can cast with lot. Do you have the shift key held down, maybe?
Do I?
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't. Okay, weird. It was just like it was stuck down, but it was all stuck down remotely.
Oh, weird.
Okay. So here's my. Turns out that's not quite which one we called. All right. So here's all my friends, and they each have this add to friend button. And so if I say add to friend, Elias Schroeder, it says undefined method name for 13 string. So something's kind of screwed up there. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, I didn't. So I just assigned this right to a. Need to actually go look up the user by their ID, and I did that with find. Okay, so I just got redirected back to the home page, which probably means that it worked, but I can't see it. So we've got this. We got a link to the friends here. Let's just have one called people too. So users. Okay. Users. All right, so that's these guys here. But oops, how did you go? Man, I just can't get out. You signed in on a location. So strange. Huh, weird. Okay, so now I've got this. So I got this added friend thing. And if we check the Rails console, we actually should see in here. So you got this added Felix Morissette as friend, so it is actually working. But now we need to actually make it do something. So now is the point in time where we actually go and create a migration for friends. So this is going to be what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the console. We're going to go here and we're going to say Rails G migration. G is a shortcut for generate. Then we're going to say add friends. Add friend. So we're going to create a table. Friends. You. All right. T dot references. All right, and then we're going to say friend ID. So the friends table is going to be very, very simple. Just going to have a user ID and a friend ID, and we always like to have timestamps. So now we can run the migration. Create DB migrate. All right, and so what we're going to say back in the users controller, we're going to say friend.create. User is the current user. Current user.id, and then the friend ID is going to be friend.id. So this is going to create that relationship. All right. And then instead of directing to the root path, let's direct to the friends path. So we'll see the people we just added as friends. And that's going to mean that we're actually going to need a friends controller again, because we just deleted it. index. And then as far as the actual friends themselves, let's go create a new view for them. And we're going to make an index view. It's going to be almost the same thing, but instead of friend. Okay. So for friend and friends, and now we're actually going to have to set this correctly from the controller. So at friends equals user ID is friends user that ID. We're going to say Matt some Brock. Friend ID. Friend IDs. Okay, so what we're going to try to do here is we're going to look for all of the friends where the user ID is the current user ID, and we're going to get the friend ID property. And then we're going to use that to find all of the users with those friend IDs. So that should help us to get all of those friends back. And then we're just going to make a list of them all right here. So we did a lot of coding there without actually trying it all, but let's see if this actually works. So there's users, add a friend, and this is saying uninitialized constants users controller friend because we don't actually have a friend model. Let's go ahead and make one of those real quick. Active record. Try this one more time. Active record model, the active record base. Continue. Undefined method ID for no class. Let's see what's going on here. We're not logged in as anybody. Friends. And we didn't run our migration. That's our problem. No, we did. So let's see here. The thing is, no column user ID. Select the user ID is 11. I feel like that was pretty much the right one. User ID. This isn't right. So I did references and I put user ID in here, but that's actually not how references works. It just wants those relations. So let me go ahead and I'll run that. I'll roll that back. Rake db rollback. That helps me correct a migration that went wrong. And so I actually don't want those to be ID. I want these to just be regular. Alright, so with that, now we have no friends. Let's go to users, add as friend. I think we're ourselves, unfortunately there. Add Marion as friend. And this just says the relation is kind of screwed up there. Or the reference is screwed up because there's no thing called user anymore. It's actually called friend. But alright, and so we almost got this. So what do we got going on here? So we've got a whole bunch of weird things in here. So we've got UTC dates, it looks like, as well as other stuff. So something's a little screwed up here. Oh, friend ID. So let's put a binding in here and try to understand this. I don't think we have Pry in here, but let's just go ahead and add it. Pry is like a built-in debugger arg, so we use that a lot. I think the issue that we've got here, guys, is that some of the friends are a little. Let's see, user ID. Those look really good. I wonder why. I wonder what happened here. Friend IDs. Now we're broke. Now we're here. Friend use. Yeah, weird. So that doesn't seem right. There's a bunch of those. I feel like it's fucking right. I think I don't need to. I think I don't need to use some of the proc there. Yeah, I think I don't need to use some of the proc. That's my point of confusion. Block just takes a symbol. All right, cool. So now I have so now I've completed the feature. I have 2 friends. I'm gonna add Renee. Renee shows up in my list. And that pretty much sums up this kind of basic version of Facebook where I can add friends and from users. Back on my user list, if I had somebody that already was my friend, let's go ahead and fix that up a little bit. So what we could say is, here we could make an if statement. If user can be friends with current user, we could do one thing, otherwise we do another one. It would just say unless. But now this friends with method that needs to be implemented on user, so let's go with that real quick. We haven't actually done the has many's here. Friends with tends to have a question mark. Users. All right, so people we don't have the add friends with button, we are already friends with. So if we add delete Delia here, now she shows up in this list and back in users, she's not there. So that pretty much sums up the friends feature. And we implemented that one way. Now the only thing that is the case here, now if we go to friends, we see we're friends with Renee Kluko here. if I log out as Felix and I log back in as Renee, my friends list is going to be empty. And that's because of the way we implemented it. It's essentially one way. So in order to get the two-way part, I'm going to leave that kind of as an exercise for next week. In fact, I'll update the gist to say that. So make friend two-way. That's gonna be, we're gonna do that next week. So at this point,